Hello and welcome to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. Today I'm taking you back to my American Hornbeam collection. I had previously pruned up 7 for a park planting, which I'm contemplating fairly soon. And these I'm not going to prune up much, but I am going to try and accentuate some of the bends that this naturally has. I'm going to be putting on heavier wire than I'm comfortable using and see where I can get this thing to go without breaking. I am not a brave soul, so I do this with a great amount of trepidation. All right, I'll get started and let you see me stumbling through it, and then I'll go into faster motion. I sincerely hope this is in sharp focus for you. I've marked it so that I can bring it back to what I believe is the front, so that you can perceive the bends in the tree that I'm trying to accentuate. Now, since I want to bend the tree in this direction, I'm going to put a tail, and just like I saw Tony from Tony's Bonsai do, start down low and make a fairly tight coil. Well, I would say loosely tight. I'm going to make a loop first to see if I can get this started easier. A loop from that point. I'll come back when I have this loop made. All right, so what I did was I came around. This tail goes all the way to the edge of the pot on this side, or as close as I could get. It goes, I'm going to have to sacrifice one of these roots, but it goes under 3 of these surface roots because I don't want to disturb any of the roots now. And I'm going to come around the tree in this direction. This way, when I bend it this way, it ought to put pressure against the ground there and give me the anchoring that I need. Again, a tip from Tony's Bonsai. If you haven't checked it out, please do. I'll put a link to his channel. He's a lot braver than I am. Oh, that isn't a root. That's great. Okay. All right, so what you're seeing is me struggling. It's getting very hot in the greenhouse. It's 74. I have the windows overhead. The automatic windows have opened. It's that warm, and I'm struggling to get a low bend started on this wire. This wire may be too thick for my level of skill here. I do not want to harm this tree. So I'm going to go into fast mode now and try and figure this out. All right, somehow I missed, or you all missed me getting that first bend in here. I want to see if I can make it a little bit more severe, more at the top. So I'm going to grab on here and push down here. Okay, that's giving me what I want. Now I'm going to wire this top section. Now I'm going to take it to 3.5 mil wire from, I think this is 4 or 4.5. Yeah, this is 4.5. And I'm going to wire it up to here and try and get the bend right there. So I believe this is the right thickness wire for the bend where I want it, and the twist. So here we go. I'm going to go into the soil right here and continue up the trunk. From this point. So how much do I need? Okay. So I'm not looking totally foolish. I'm going into fast mode now. Okay, now I want to get a little reverse bend and a twist into this. Once again, you got to watch my man Tony from Tony's Bonsai. I don't know how I'm going to get the twist. And we'll try and get the twist. I'm getting a little bit. All right. I've also seen him do this to get the twist. I'm getting it a little bit. And now I want to get the bend. The twist brought the branches kind of, and I'll do more with the fine branching, but it brought them more in a plane that'll work later on. I'm just trying to get the reverse bend that I was looking for. That's a little more interesting. That was the front. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta bend that top up a little bit. This. Upright just a little bit. Let me go down a gauge and wire. All right, once again, I'm having this wire join the party a little way up the trunk. So this goes down into the soil all the way down, just like this thinner one did. And I'm going to start from here, going in the direction I want to continue twisting and bending, but straightening it out a little more exaggerated than it would be. Figuring it'll spring back. And I don't intend to leave this wire on for very long. Probably June, depending on the growth. I'll watch this one closely. I'm trying not to trap any buds as I go up here. I could have selected, in retrospect, a finer gauge of wire, but I didn't. Let me finish this off somehow. Trim it. And give it some of a twist. Good thing you can't feel my frustration through the, maybe you can. Okay, there's the twist and the bend. Like I said, I'm not going to select any branches now. Just going to give the tree something to think about when it's training itself as a bonsai. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this, but I'm going to leave it alone for now. It's been in the greenhouse. I think I'll leave it in the greenhouse just to recover from this. I'm trying to keep, it wouldn't matter to me if this leafed out early, as long as I can maintain temperatures above freezing in the greenhouse, which I have been able to do. Here's another one. This one, I think I'm just going to directional prune. The base looks like it has some potential. I think both of these trees, if you go down lower, you got some potential. I will probably be cutting off the higher roots in both trees. But this one, I think I'm just going to directionally prune. It's got some good potential. I think this is a casualty here, or one waiting to happen. I might just lop that whole thing off. You should be able to see them now. Yeah. All right, I like them. They're nice and low. I'll try and maintain, good sunlight getting to those branches. You may not be able to see this one right here. But I'm not going to do anything with that. I'm going to let it grow on. This one, there's a bud going out that way, so I'm going to prune it right ahead of that bud. This one divides, but it divides pretty far from the tree, and I'd like to develop this into a nice branch, and I think it goes out too far. It has a bud here and a bud here. I'm going to take the ramification off of it and hope that it buds out, that it branches out in those two directions. The one above it, I think, has died back. It's on the inside of a curve, so I'm going to take it off. This one is on the outside of a curve, but it looks to be dead. There is a bud there. I don't think this is a live branch, but I'm going to cut it back to a bud. Maybe it's alive, maybe it's not. There's a piece going vertical here. I'm going to take that off completely. And get this back on the turntable. I'll try and keep this behind it at all times, even when I turn it. Okay, there's a little nib here. one take off. And there's a dead stub here that I think can be taken back somewhat. This looks like a nice branch. It has some movement to it. I'm going to let that grow on. Just take the tip off. That's not a growing tip. That was a piece that had died off. This branch divides into two, and one of them goes this sort of upright and then out. It blocks the branch behind it. I don't know that that's doing me any good. I'm going to take it out and try not to regret that decision. This lower part I think is dead. I'm going to leave a stub. And this upper part, there's some buds there. Let's see if they're active. Oh, another little baby spider right there. Sure you can't see them. All right, I need a different tool here. Let me exhaust this one first. I think this piece is dead. I'll leave a stub. And I'm going to cut this one back to an outward facing bud. Oh, look, this is starting to really swell, this bud. But you know, I don't care. I want it to go in the other direction, so I'm going to take that off. Here's an old pruning stub. Here's another. That was dumb. Let me make the mistake so you don't have to. Okay, there's a bud facing out here. There's a bud here facing up. And there's a bud here facing up. So this canopy will grow. This is kind of long and straight. What do you think, boys and girls? I'm going to cut it back even further. I don't like this interference right here. Yeah, this is dead. And it even has died back to here. That looks like a viable bud, but it's hanging on by a thread. I got to take that back to here. And I'm going to take this one back to here. And this one to here. The only cut I'm worried about is this one. But I'm leaving this in the greenhouse. I'm not going to I'm not even going to put cut paste on. And on that subject of cut paste, I've really come to the conclusion that the Gorilla Glue I've been using is not the right tool for the job. Since it's all I have besides lac balsam, I'm going back to lac balsam. Let's see what we think about this tree. It's pruned up for the growing season, and that was my intention. All right, let's see what happens. So here are the two American Hornbeam that I worked on today. This one using wire a la Tony's Bonsai, and many others that use wire, but I happen to like the way Tony attacks his work. And I tried to do the same here. This one is just going to be clip and grow. I'm trying to get some outward branching. This may end up coming down. I got to see what happens. This is a very straight section. I may take it down to here to put it more in line with this, but let's see what grows and what doesn't grow. All right. Thank you once again for joining me in my backyard. I hope you'll subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I hope to bring you interesting content day after day, as long as I can do it and still get other work done. You may understand what I'm talking about. All right. Thank you very much.